Welcome to Financial Ginger. I'm Jacob Johnson, the insurance agent that's known for picking up his phone. Today, I am excited, very excited. In fact, we've been talking for like 10 minutes before starting this with Kristen Gines. She is my life insurance agent. She also does health insurance. She's awesome at that. And I'm excited to talk about ACA and healthcare and all the fun stuff that she does with you today. So if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I'll make sure Kristen sees them.
Yeah, but I'm also very responsive.
Yeah. So. Exciting. Perfect. Okay. So ACA benefits, or I don't know the right way to say this, but healthcare is changing.
Yes.
I'm glad you actually took time because I know it's the busiest season for you right in December.
It is, yes.
Because everyone's trying to figure out their stuff before January 1st.
Yeah, stop procrastinating.
Yeah, don't procrastinate. And everyone is freaking out about their premiums. Yeah. Like everyone I'm seeing online, my insurance is going up 300% this year. My insurance is going up 250% this year. My insurance is going I was paying $400 a month. Now it's $1,500 a month.
Yep.
Like what's going on?
Yeah. So what happened, and I'm sure people are moderately informed about it, but with the government shutdown, part of what was on the floor was whether or not to extend subsidies that had taken effect during COVID. And so people got really used to those they had expanded them. So people were much more eligible for subsidies for a long time. And part of what the issue was that the left wanted to extend the subsidies. The right wanted not to, but to add on other things. And in the end, they voted to end the shutdown and revisit extending subsidies later on.
Oh.
So what has happened is the subsidy situation, the tiers have gone back to what they were pre-COVID, which means that occasionally if you are, $2 over a certain tier, you're now bumped up to the next level of paying whatever that tier is instead of...
It's not progressive.
Correct. Yeah.
It's now tier-based. So it's like, the income cutoff's here for $0 cost. Right. And, you make $2 more than that.
Right.
And now you're at this tier. And so now you're paying the full cost here.
And it varies state by state. There's different ways that it works. And if you have other situations and dependents and everything like that, that affects things as well. So it's not like strictly like you get $100 off here or $200 off here, but they are much less flexible subsidies now, which is why people are seeing that increase where, last year, if you were a married couple making $85,000 a year, you could get a silver level plan for relatively cheap. And this year you're paying full price for a bronze plan.
I see.
Right.
Okay. That's actually been something that's confused because I didn't understand that at all.
Right.
I'm like, I don't get it. What's actually happening?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that's why you're seeing a lot of premiums go up. One of the good things for me as an agent is I have lots of other resources. So I have indemnity plans that we can do. There's catastrophic plans in certain cases. There's different things and solutions that we can work toward that offer some savings.
Yeah.
Not without risk though. So that's the trade-off.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think right now, right. I'm a young whippersnapper that's only a little bit overweight. But I think I have a catastrophic plan because I was like, I'm worried about if I'm hospitalized for a month because I get in a car accident, like, is that bill going to be paid or whatever? Like, I'm not worried about, maybe if I break my leg, maybe I'm paying for that myself. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of people are going to probably be ending up, particularly in the lower age ranges, because they're going to find that paying a hospital bill, cash is cheaper than what they're going to pay per year for their premiums. And that's not a hard and fast rule.
No.
And if you have chronic health concerns, please don't just do a catastrophic plan. Don't put yourself at risk like that.
No.
Speak with an agent because we can talk to you about solutions, but it's really important that you be informed about all the risk you're taking on if you do go with something catastrophic.
Yes. I tell people constantly, it's get a professional on anything. Right.
It's free.
Yeah, exactly. It's free to work with Kristen. She doesn't cost you a dime. It's free to work with me. It doesn't cost you a dime. Right. I mean, obviously we get compensated by the government or by the insurance company or whatnot, but that doesn't impact your premium. If you get Progressive directly through Progressive, well, actually that's the one exception. If you get an insurance from, online versus using an agent, it's still going to be the same price.
Correct.
Right. But having a good agent that knows all those things or that has options, I call myself a broker because I broker, 25 different insurance companies. I imagine you probably have more than that, but
I have so many and I'm in multiple states. So
so it's even more because do you have to be licensed with each company in each state?
Yes, but it's a really simple process. Once you pass the federal exam, you just have to, you pay for the state licenses after that.
Oh, that's so simple.
Yeah. And then there are certain states that have different laws. And so you might have to take like a test, like a small test here and there.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, it's a simple thing of just purchasing the license and then getting appointed with whatever carrier.
See, for me, it's a brutal process. Like if I wanted to go to Idaho, the brokerage I work for has to get licensed in Idaho.
Oh,
then
yes.
I have to get licensed in Idaho.
Yes.
Then I have to get relicensed with each carrier.
Right.
I have different, some of them like Progressive, it's super easy. Like you just tell them like, and they're like, they just double check the licenses
Right.
and then they say you're good. But some of them, they're like, nope, you need to be like reevaluated, re-interviewed to see if we want you to write insurance with us.
Yeah.
It's silly. So it's cool that it's easier.
It is easier with insurance, I think only because it is federally regulated. And then a lot of what you do is state regulated.
State regulated.
So I have that little bit of a bonus there that it's easier for me to go state to state. And I'm in 14 different states.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But the point is getting up. Sorry, I go all over the place.
So do I.
ADD. So, you know,
Same.
This is going to be a great conversation. we getting a professional just to know your options. Like I always tell people when they're doing home insurance or auto insurance, be aware of what's covered, right?
Yes.
Like, I had a client who was really concerned about floods a couple of years back. And they're like, I really want to make sure I'm covered if there's a flood. I'm like, well, you have to get specialized insurance for it.
Yeah.
You can only get it from the government. Well, until 2022, July 2022, they changed that law. So now you can get it from private companies, but it has to be the same or better than the government plan. So
Right.
it's basically the same.
Yep.
And during the government shutdown, you couldn't get flood insurance.
Yeah.
You had to go through private. So
Yeah.
Neptune, they rock. I write for them.
Yeah.
But anyways, they wanted, and I know this huge weird list of exceptions to flood insurance. And he's like, I'm worried about this specific thing happening to my home. And I'm like, flood insurance won't cover that. But that's
Yeah.
a flood. I'm like, they still won't cover it. Like that's not considered
Yeah.
a flood or it's an excluded flood, right?
Right.
Like it's silly. One example,
Exclusions drive me nuts.
they're so stupid. And it's even worse, I imagine, with health insurance.
yeah.
But anyways, go to a professional because the point is you need someone that's going to educate you. What are you concerned about? What's going to happen? Like, what are you worried about? Like, what's something that happened 10 years ago that you were upset that wasn't covered?
Right.
Can we get a plan that does cover that? Like the importance of a professional isn't just making sure you're paying a good price, but it's making sure that what you think is covered is
Actually
covered,
yes.
or what isn't covered, just having knowledge of what isn't covered.
Right.
Or, hey, with this extra add-on, these things will be covered.
Yes.
But that costs extra.
Right.
Do you want that or not?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's, I would say that's really important too, especially when it comes to picking a professional. Like if you go with a broker, like Jacob or I, we're both brokers. We have lots of different options. We have no obligation to any company in particular. So we can write for whoever, and our only motivation is what's right for the customer. Mm-hmm. If you're writing with somebody who is captive with an agency and they only write for one or two, sometimes that can be a red flag. Not always.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be because some of those companies can have more inflated costs. So it's always really important to like make sure you know all of the options that are available to you.
In fact, I don't know. This is kind of a weird thing. It's not very common to do. I've had situations where I've referred someone to, hey, go check this captive company I don't write for. Because they're like one real common example is fire risk. Utah, about a year ago, most insurance companies redrew their fire lines risks for home insurance.
Oh, really?
And a bunch of people in like Eagle Mountain and Saratoga just basically got dropped by their insurance companies.
Oh my goodness.
They're just like, sorry, you're in a high wildfire risk. We don't want you
Yeah,
anymore. It's
they
like, wait, I've been with you for 8 years. What are you talking about? Oh, well, we drew our fire lit. Right. It was after that hailstorm in August of 2024. And so everyone was like, and so they redrew the wind and wildfire risks and all that too. But wildfire risk doesn't just mean wildfires. It's
a lot.
It's stupid. And so it was like, okay, well, what companies will write them? Right. And so I knew American Family and Farm Bureau will take higher wildfire risks. They'll go up to like 90 out of 100, where a lot of companies won't go above 70 or 80, or some companies have their own scales they use, but that's a brief metric. And most of that area is like 82. You know, 79. So some companies would write some of them, but they wouldn't write their neighbor across the street. Well, you're a 79 and you're an 82. And it's like, why can my neighbor get insurance and my insurance is 3 times? Anyways, this is a little bit long, but sometimes I'll be like, just because I'm aware of the market, I'll be like, hey, go check these two companies.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you're not going to go with me, but it's still free to ask me the question.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Oh, it's terrible. Wow. So with everyone's rates going up, so some of the odd solutions. So some people look at indemnity plans.
Yes.
Some people look at catastrophic plans. Part of the reason I like doing this is selfishly I get to learn because I do not understand health insurance.
That's okay.
All. I understand
Most
life
people
insurance. I understand home and auto insurance. That's what I claim to be an expert in. What's a health, just like, I don't know, high level overview. What's an indemnity plan? What's a catastrophic plan. What's a normal plan?
Yeah. So I'll start with normal, since what most people have. And most people still don't even understand that.
And these are those government, like the copper, silver,
Right.
gold.
Yep. Bronze,
ACA
silver,
plans.
gold, platinum is what they have right now. And then at your employer, they have similar structures. The basic breakdown is that you'll have anything from a high deductible, low premium up to a low deductible, high premium plan. So most people choose a high deductible plan for the lower premium. What that means is that you're on the hook very first for that deductible. So, and you have those in home and auto as well.
Yep.
So that's all out of pocket for you.
And those are based on like a 1 year calendar, right?
Correct.
So if you have like multiple doctor's visits, you're still going to pay until you've hit the deductible
Correct.
for the year.
Yes.
Where like auto and home insurance, it's event by event,
Right.
you have a deductible. So it's slightly different.
Yep. So it's per year, and it's also per family. So if you have more than 2 people in your household, that deductible doubles.
Oh.
Yeah.
So wait, going from just husband and wife to like having a kid, instead of being
Yes.
15,000, it's 30,000, or 10,000, it's 20.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And the same with the out-of-pocket maximum.
Okay.
So that's where you take on the most risk, is with high deductible plans. And that's why they have those HSAs that are available for high deductible plans. So whatever you're saving on premiums, you can put into an HSA. And then if something major does happen, you have a little bit like
Extra.
stowed away. Right.
That actually makes sense, especially if you're like 22 years old and freshly married and have really good health. And it's like,
Yes.
wait, I don't want to be paying for the higher. It's like, well, do
what
that
you-
plan.
yeah.
And then when you're 40 and you need it and you've got 3 kids, anyways. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's what most people have. And that's what most employers offer. That's what's available in the marketplace. The alternatives generally are indemnity plans, which can work pretty well, depending on how healthy you are. Again, there's risk that's involved with that, because before the plan pays out, let me try that again.
Before
Before the plan pays out, you have to go into the doctor, they bill, and then you file a claim with the doctor, and the company sends you a check.
to pay it.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
You have to pay it first.
Sometimes
And then get
it depends on where the billing lands. Like if you're going to be late, then yeah, pay it. Sometimes it gets there soon enough, and then you can use the check. Some of the companies will pay it directly to the doctor's office. Not always.
It just depends.
It depends on the company.
Or the type of claim, maybe.
Right. Yes. So those plans usually cover things like extended hospital stays. They can cover surgeries, and they can cover like skilled nursing facilities, physical therapy, things like that.
Okay.
They do not cover everything. So like if you need to go to a doctor, they're probably not going to have very good coverage for that.
I see. That's where you would need the normal plan.
Right.
So an indemnity plan is almost like a supplemental
Yes.
to the normal plan, or do some people choose to have an indemnity plan and not have normal insurance?
They do. Sometimes they do, yeah, for cost reasons.
Okay.
Most often I give it to people as a supplement because they're like, well, I have this high deductible plan, but if I get this hospital indemnity plan that can, pay me a little bit at least of what this bill is going to be, that might be worth it. And they're much cheaper. And you can also add on like critical illness and things like that to those plans for coverage, like for cancer and strokes and heart attacks, things like that.
I think that's what I've got. I think I've got like, I don't think it's an indemnity plan. I think it's that third one that we'll probably talk about in a minute, the catastrophic. But I think I've got a few optional add-ons from an indemnity plan, because I was like, cancer runs in my family.
Yeah.
I had a cousin that had skin cancer at like 28 years old, and then she had like a twin cyst in her brain and nasal cavity when she was like 33 or something like that, right? Like really young for that sort of thing. And I had, anyways, so stuff like that. And I'm like, I want to make sure I'm covered for cancer. So I know we added that on.
Right. Yeah. Then catastrophic plans have generally, again, even less coverage than a hospital indemnity plan. They're strictly for like catastrophic events. Right. And often they're one and done.
Yeah. Yep. That's what they told me. They're like, if you use this once,
Right.
you're going to have to go get normal insurance after that.
Yeah. Yeah. And often if you've used a catastrophic plan before, there are a lot of companies that will not sell you one again.
That makes sense.
So because sometimes the catastrophic plans have medical underwriting, sometimes they don't. But if they do know that you've used a catastrophic coverage before and you've used up that benefit, they're going to classify you as high risk, and private companies have the ability to say no.
Yep.
Marketplace takes everybody.
It's not the government.
Yeah. But private companies that do hospital indemnity plans and catastrophic plans have the right to tell you no.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
They're a private company. They can do what they want.
So there's, tiered risk depending on where you go. And then, you got to take into account your budget, family plans, travel, And there's a lot that goes into it. And that's why working with a professional is recommended, because we have a lot more access to those things than Google or even ChatGPT.
Yeah. Or like you were saying before we even started filming, right? Like you had one person you found insurance for, and it was weird because the company required the whole application to be on paper and faxed to them. And it's like, okay, that was a really good rate for that person. It was what they needed the coverage wise.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, there's extra steps, but the professional is going to make sure that you can go through those steps.
Right.
Where someone else might just be doing it yourself. It's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. Or maybe you couldn't even get that without an agent. Right.
Exactly.
And so it's, weird things you have to think about, but hey, cool that you're able to do it.
Yeah. And it's helped a lot of people, and I personally, integrity is a big thing for me. And I want to make sure when I'm writing those plans that people know, like, this is not traditional health insurance.
Yeah.
This is not going to say, this is not a miracle plan.
Yep.
This is, kind of a Band-Aid to get us through and see if the subsidies pass again, or, you get an employer that offers health insurance or something. Those plans are not meant to be long-term.
Yeah, well, we looked at it because, right, the way my wife and I, and we'll definitely have to talk about this because, right, I've got that critical catastrophic plan with a few extra riders on it because I was just like, I want it as cheap as possible, right? It was when I first started my career and I was like, I am not making a lot of money right now. I just need the cheapest thing. And I probably should reevaluate that. My plan is once we have children to reevaluate. I feel like that's probably a safe time to evaluate that and be like, okay, maybe I need more for this or that, or to make sure my kids are covered or whatever. And then my wife, she's on I know it's going to cringe. She's on one of those Christian Healthshare ministries.
And those can be great too.
Which can be great.
Yeah.
But you have to be cautious because legally they're not insurance. They're
not obligated to pay out your claims.
Yeah, they're not obligated to pay out. Yeah. And I've actually seen some of them that have been like, oh, even though we're a Christian group, we don't want these types of Christians in our group, right? Or, hey, even though we're a health insurance, we won't cover a child conceived out of wedlock unless it was from rape or incest or something like that, right? Because that's not Christian values, and that means you weren't living the Christian. So we're not going to cover that pregnancy or whatever it is, right? It's like they can have whatever rules they want because
they're private.
They're not a government insurance, and
and again, it's just about what risk you're willing to take on.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. It's like, could you handle if they decide to not pay for cancer treatment?
Or if, if they don't get enough donations for that year and don't have it in their funds to pay them out. Yeah.
Yes. So that's something I didn't even think about. So yeah, we've got some evaluating to do once, because that's what right. It's one thing that I've realized I do. And I realize people do this with their auto and home insurance, and they do it with their health. It's like, I've been doing this for 10 years, so I should just leave it. Right. Or I had a guy, he owns an auto dealership, and he's like, I haven't touched my insurance since I started this auto dealership.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, okay, when you first started it, you never had more than $1 million worth of cars on your dealership. Right. Okay. They just moved to a 20,000 square foot facility. They're going to have somewhere between $8 and $10 million of cars. Oh my goodness. If they still have only $1 million of coverage, like there's going to be a major problem if a major hailstorm happens that wrecks the cars in their lot. Or exactly. Right. So it's like, you just need to double check your business insurance. You need to double check your auto insurance. You need to double check your health insurance. Like, is this still best for you right now? Or maybe you mentioned going from two to the third, it doubles your deductible. Okay, well, if you just became an empty nester and your kid moved out and you don't need insurance or anything, that's a great time to reevaluate your insurance. Like, hey, maybe it's better now to switch to this plan because the deductibles would be lower than whatever you're using now or whatnot.
And life changes are usually when people look at it. And sometimes it can be too late. So my recommendation is always look at it yearly. Okay. And we have, the enrollment periods every year, partially for that reason. But I recommend looking at it yearly because premiums change every year. Exemptions change every year. Laws change every year. And so it's, even if you don't change plan itself, it's good to just, okay, what's changed? What's different? Do I need to make a switch? Should I do that preemptively before, I'm SOL at some point down the road?
Well, because I've seen that because I know this intimately because it's happened to friends and family of mine. They were like, oh, we need to make sure we've got insurance. We need to make sure we've got insurance. And then they find out they're 3 months pregnant. And they're like,
that's a big one.
Oh, crap. It's too late to get insurance that will cover me because this is now a pre-existing condition. Correct. Right. And so especially in Utah, that happens all the time where people are like, oh, crap. Wait, I have to pay out of pocket completely for this? whatever it is. It's like, yeah, checking before major life events happen. Or some companies will have like a 6 week, if you get pregnant within 6 weeks or whatever, right? So like knowing those rules.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Super fun. That makes me think, because did we talk this year? I feel like we talked recently about my insurance, but I feel like it was probably last year.
I think we talked about it when we all went to lunch.
Oh, yeah. Okay, with Deveray.
Jacob and I have known each other for a very long time.
A long time. We went to the same school. Wait, were you student body president the year after?
The year after.
The year after, yeah. So we were student body presidents back. It's actually funny because one of the other guys I interviewed, Parker Eads, he was also student body president at our high school at UCAS. How funny. Yeah, we stick together.
Yeah. So yeah, we talked about it a little while ago, but are you still with Orson, or did you change?
No, I'm still with Orson for my plan, and my wife's still on that.
Yeah.
So we should probably talk about, because she just quickly like went online and checked the government stuff yourself, which obviously isn't the best way to do it.
Right.
But just like her rough preliminary glance, it was like, that's going to be 8 times what we're paying.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, hers is like, a little over $200 a month. Mine's like $140 a month, because I'm trying to keep it as cheap as possible because I'm young and healthy and don't need it. And I'm willing to take that, right? Like I was on some medication for a while for depression. I've been on and off it a couple times. And so, but I was like, it was cheap enough. Like I was getting 2 months supplies, 3 months supplies for like $20. I'm like, I can pay out of pocket for that. I don't need it. Right. Like where I have cousins that are like on Ritalin, and it's like, holy crap, that's $1,500 a month.
Yeah. And then you need insurance for that.
Yeah. So knowing what you need helped me make that choice, but it's like, okay, well, what's going to be happening over the next year? Is it worth looking? So we should definitely talk. Yeah. We should definitely see, this is learning for me. This is why I'm doing this, is because then I get reminded to make good financial choices, like talking to Kristen.
Yeah. Well, and it's good. Jacob sends me lots of referrals, and I've been able to help him out with a couple of things, and vice versa. He's been my agent for my PNC for years. And we didn't even know that. I called one time about something, and he's like, Bear River, this is Jacob. And I was like, hold on, I know that voice.
That was funny. So, it was funny finding that out. So yeah, I've been doing yours since I started doing insurance. Yeah. You might be one of the longest time customers I've had.
Yeah, because I've had Bear River since I was 16 when I started driving. So
well, and we've even reevaluated that a couple of times. I know that over the years we've checked, and it's still been
the
great.
Cheapest, so.
Yeah, I've actually had a few people that I've recently switched away from Bear River, and it was like, hey, here's another company, and they're, we talked about it, and it's like, it's a good risk for you right now. Yeah. I actually switched my own dad away from Bear River just recently, and he's been on them for forever. I mean, it just made sense. He became an empty nester. Yeah. And I've noticed they've been a little bit, anyways, getting too specific, but they're a little bit less competitive with certain demographics of older people when they no longer have kids, because they really like kids. If you've got teenagers, Bear River loves it. If you're younger, Bear River loves it, especially if you have cars that are a little bit older too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we just got our renewal package, and I'm like, cool, sounds good.
Did it go down?
It did.
Yeah, which is wild, especially the last 2 years. Every company's always got.
I did the math, and I was like,
wait,
hold on.
This is a little bit cheaper.
And I was like, I'm not going to complain. And I was like, I'm glad you brought it up, because I was like, I'm not going to tell Jacob that it went down. And it did.
Oh, I got to go raise it now that you've told me. No, just kidding. I don't make those. Anyways, yeah. So it's fun. We've been working together for a long time, and I've really appreciated it, because it's nice, because I know if I send someone to you, I don't have to worry about if they're going to be taken care of, or if you're going to talk to them or whatnot. Like I've had some people where because before we connected and I realized, I can send, I've had a few people I've worked with. And we've probably had like 10 people. There was one that my office used to work with, and he's older, he's retiring soon, but we realized, like, when we went back and touched base with a few of our clients, he was only reaching out to like 1 in 5. I'm like, why are you not talking? And he was just too busy. And so we're like, well, we need to get it to someone else. It's because we want people to be taken care of. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, if someone wants health insurance, I don't do it. I want to say, go talk to someone that I trust, that I talk to, that I know is going to make sure you're covered, right? Yeah. Especially if you're asking me, you trust me. Right. I want people to trust me, and I need to refer people that I can trust. Yeah. So it's good. It's been good. It's been really great. And also, Kristen was really helpful. We've been trying to get life insurance for my wife, Kimberly. And all these insurance companies kept on saying, we'll only offer you this much. And I'm like, we want 4 times that much. Like, what the heck's going on? And we've used online stuff. We used another agent. And what really sealed I can trust Kristen is, it was weeks. It took forever to figure out, but it got figured out, and we were able to get the insurance that we wanted, the life insurance that we wanted for Kimberly. And so that was awesome. I was like, this is great. Kristen's going to get the job done, and she's going to figure it out. And I don't have to know all the details. A lot
of it is just knowing the carriers and what carriers will allow you to do what. Yep. And so I do a lot of research on that. And make sure that like if I'm going to recommend something to somebody, that I'd be willing to put myself on it. So, and the company that I used for her was the one that I have.
Yeah.
So it made it easy.
That's awesome.
So,
well, because I think about that even in an insurance perspective, right? Like people have weird situations where they come in, they're like, oh, I have a LLC owned property that my dad and I own. And it's like, oh, well, you can't do normal insurance. You have to go to special companies that'll cover LLCs, because if not, you have to get a commercial insurance policy, and that's way more expensive and has way more underwriting. So it's like, oh, these companies are okay with these types of risk on a personal lines policy, right? Oh, well, Bear River won't do an LLC. Oh, they will do a trust. So it's like knowing the weird random things you have to know is why you trust professionals.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I get that all the time where like, so like one of the other things I do is Medicare. And you know, it's hot Medicare season right now. And every year I find people that went either through online, which is fine. You can do online, or they go through those 1-800 numbers.
Oh, geez.
Oh my word. And those I think should be illegal personally. Because the amount of senior fraud that happens is, it's just insane. And I've like run into people who had 3 different supplement policies. You're only supposed to have one. And they had 3 different ones they were paying for because the agent that they talked to didn't tell them, oh, you need to cancel this one. We're putting you on this one.
Gosh.
And then they ended up getting a penalty because they thought that one of them was for something else.
Oh my goodness.
And so thankfully I was able to get in there and resolve that.
Yeah.
Saved them over like $600 per month on their supplements that they didn't need. And I mean, I walk in there and I'm like one of their children now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's crazy because it's like, why would you trust someone with that you aren't able to be personable with, right? Like that just is so confusing to me. Like I have people all the time that call me and they're like, I actually made a post about this, put it on my Instagram, and I've refreshed it a couple of times. I saw an online ad that says I can get car insurance for $30 a month if I drive less than 50 miles a day. And I'm like, these are not actual insurance companies.
No.
They're not even brokers.
No.
They're not even agents. They're marketing companies.
Yeah.
They're going to take your data, sell it to 45 or 100 different insurance agents because they're just trying to get money out of it.
Yep.
And then your phone's going to ring off the hook for 3 months straight with insurance agents being like,
not more.
can I get you a car insurance quote? Can I get you a home insurance quote? It's like never, because you're now on some list somewhere that's never going to go away.
Yep.
And it's like, do not put your information in those.
Yeah.
Like, look up brokers near you.
Yes.
Talk to me and Kristen, obviously, but like worst case scenario, if you're in Georgia.
I'm licensed in Georgia.
Oh, there we go. Talk to Kristen. If you're in Georgia, talk to Kristen. But right, for me, I'm just like, I've even done this for some people where my brother moved to Tennessee and he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to figure out my auto and home insurance. I looked up brokers near him and said, call these 3 people. They're brokers. They looked at their websites, looked at some of their reviews. I would call this person if I was moving to Tennessee. Right. And even if I'm not the one doing it, I want you to be taken care of. So don't put your information in online portals promising you $30 a month insurance, because it's just not going to happen. It's a marketing. Like they found one situation where some 93-year-old lady who's been with State Farm for 75 years and drives a 1992 Corolla with 700,000 miles on was paying $27 a month. Right. So you could too.
And you can't see the fine print that says this may not apply to you. And they do that with Medicare and with health insurance all the time. It's terrible. You could qualify for extra help. You could qualify for a $0 premium. The keyword there is could. Yeah. And that's how they get away with it, is because they're not saying you will. They're just saying there's a possibility. And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to apply. I'd probably even say like a higher percentage than that. It's not going to apply.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's annoying because it stresses us out, because then people are constantly calling. It's like, well, I saw an ad that said I could get it for cheaper. Why shouldn't I call them? I'm like, look, obviously I love being your agent. I want you to have the best price and coverage. But if you go do that, you're going to get spammed for forever. And it's a nightmare, especially when you're, if it's your elderly parents.
Yes. And that I put that out with people all the time. Like, tell your parents, tell your grandparents, don't call those 1-800 numbers, because they're slick. Yeah. They're slick. They'll reel them right in. And I've lost a couple clients to people that way. I've been able to largely get them back because usually they make it worse for the client. Yeah. And I can show that on paper. Like, actually, this was not a good choice. But the elderly are the ones that fall victim to it by far the most. The elderly and the disabled fall victim all the time to those 1-800 numbers. So
And
please.
because they might not have the coverage that they need.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, your plan
Exactly.
doesn't cover this now. And now suddenly you're not getting your medication reimbursed.
Right.
It's like,
And they put those commercials on constantly on all, Price is Right. Next commercial is, you could save all of this on your health insurance. Just call this number. And then they're in it. So
it's terrible. So with, moving on beyond that, both of us clearly had something to get out there.
Strong feelings.
It's strong feelings there. Man, I'm losing my voice. Wow. There we go. Sorry. I'll have to edit that out. I don't know. I'm just thinking about this. Like, what are some of the more common, like you said, it's really common. A lot of people are switching to like indemnity plans right now. What are some other, like, I know, because obviously most people are with the government plans. What about private plans? Are there private plans that people are merging or becoming more common that are like more price competitive? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the plan you're on, actually, that I used to actually work for that company is what we consider like a private plan.
Okay.
It's a bit more of a hybrid of a like catastrophic and hospital indemnity, where they've struck a deal with certain carriers. And there's coverages like that. Like Allstate has some, Aflac has some, again, not without risk.
Yeah.
But they can be a little bit more comprehensive. They're just going to be more expensive. So the more you add to it, the more expensive it is.
But it might be cheaper than the ACA plan.
Might be.
Which is why some people go for them.
Correct. Yeah. And like I said, if that's something you want to really thoroughly investigate to make sure you're not taking on more risk than you can afford.
Yeah. What are some of the common coverage gaps people take when they take those different plans? Like when someone goes from the ACA to a private plan,
right?
Or when they step down to an indemnity plan, which is private too,
right?
Like what are some of the common things that they're going to lose coverage for?
Yeah, so that's a great question, because ACA is extremely regulated.
Yeah.
So there's certain things they have to offer.
Everyone calls it Obamacare.
Yes, they're the same thing.
Yeah, ACA, Obamacare, same thing.
Marketplace, Obamacare, Healthshare, market, whatever. It's all the same thing. So I'm like, I know people have strong feelings about
Whatever you
Obama.
want to call it.
ACA is the same thing. So just,
yeah, we love Obama. Whether you like him or not, who cares?
Right.
Let's make it work for you.
Yes. ACA, I try to stick with ACA because it's less stigmatized, but it's a good point that people do need to know. But a lot of people call it Obamacare. They're the same thing, still regulated the same way. Subsidies still apply. Just the name
just
fluctuates.
The term.
But ACA plans have to cover maternity. They have to have prescription coverage. They have to have some kind of mental health coverage. There's a few other things, right? Regular doctor office visits, preventative care, things like that have to be covered. With private plans, hospital indemnity plans, one of the first things that suffers is maternity care, because they consider that extremely high risk, which it is.
Yeah.
It's extremely high risk. And so they often will not take that on.
I see.
So for example, like with the plan that you're on, you have to go through medical underwriting to get on it.
They had to take my blood and look at my insurance history.
Yeah.
And they weighed me and they checked my doctor records. It was weird.
If you or your partner are pregnant at the time of application, they will not accept you on that plan.
Yeah.
So that's the case with a lot of them. Sometimes even with the health shares, they'll be the same way. A lot of them will not cover mental health.
Yep.
Because especially with the way that therapists work, they can contract with various carriers at different times. And so it's harder to regulate like what insurance they're going to take. And so they'll just be like, we're not even going to touch it. Another thing that suffers often is prescriptions. So they'll only offer certain limited coverage on prescriptions. They want you to go generic. Everybody wants you to go generic, right? But if you have something more specialized, like an insulin of some kind, they're only going to have like a very limited amount of coverage for those.
And so that's limiting like the quantity they'll pay or the percentage they'll pay.
The percentage they'll pay usually,
only certain types of insulin.
Usually with those, they don't care so much about the brand. They'll just say our cap on specialty drugs is $50 per month.
Oh, I see.
Or something like that.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And so where insulin is capped under the ACA or Medicare, it is not capped under a private plan.
That makes sense.
So, the insulin that could be $1,500 a month is capped, for example, on Medicare at like $32 a month.
Oh.
But if you have a private plan, you're paying for that out of pocket. And GoodRx doesn't do a whole lot for those.
No, not for insulin.
No. And there are other options, for prescriptions. There's things like carrier coupons that they have, manufacturer coupons.
Okay.
You can apply for if you're lower income. There's a few other options like that. But
that's cool.
Yeah, they're very helpful.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is. It's super, especially for drugs that are new to the market that only have a brand name where the generic hasn't been approved yet. A lot of manufacturers will have coupons you can apply for so that you're not paying so much. Because even those, when you have traditional insurance, can be very expensive.
Actually, I think I used one of those in college. So when I was in college, I was taking like 18 credit hours my last semester, and I was working 35 hours a week between two jobs. And I was, anyways, there was a lot I was doing, and I wasn't sleeping more than a couple hours, like most nights, and some nights I wasn't sleeping.
Right.
And I thought I just had, I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but it's fairly obvious to anyone who's been around me for more than 5 minutes that I've definitely got something wrong. It's probably that I was homeschooled, but anyways, until high school, obviously.
That explains a lot.
It does, doesn't it? Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, college. So I went and saw a doctor and was like, maybe I can try Ritalin or something like that, like for focusing. Cause I was like, I would read pages of my textbok and I'm like, I did not remember anything. Any of that. I don't even know what subject matter. Like, am I looking at a history textbook or what? Like, and I was also studying for the CFP exam at that time. And I was putting in about 30 hours a week studying for that. Cause that one you need about 300 hours of study time before you take, well, people recommend like 500, but 300 while taking 18 college credits anyways, and working full time. How did I do that? Anyways, the point that I'm trying to say is I got on at Zenis when it was a fairly new drug. And nowadays it's like over $1,000 a month if you're paying out of pocket. But my parents' insurance didn't cover it at the time, or maybe I didn't ask them about it or something. But I got it for like $26. Yeah. For like 3 months of it, which anyone that takes Zenis, it's basically like Ritalin, but it lasts 12 hours instead of 6 hours, and it's lower. So it's supposed to be less of a uptake and less. Yeah. So it's supposed to be like more mellow Ritalin that lasts all day rather than sometimes you have to take twice a day. Yeah. And I really freaking loved that. That was amazing. The first day I took it, I went and sat in the fishbowl at UVU, which is this room that's all glass. So they call it the fishbowl. Everyone can see inside. And I turned on a Spotify playlist of music that was like 7 hours long. Yeah. And at one point I looked up and was like, my music stopped. My entire playlist had run through. I hadn't got up to eat. I hadn't got up to go to the bathroom. My goodness. Like I literally sat there for over 7 hours studying straight. I was like, holy crap, this drug is amazing. Yeah. No, when I got on Adderall, I was like, oh, this is what life could have been. I can read a book and it's like, anyways, it's cool. Yeah. It was cool. So yeah, if you need drugs, if you have a prescription medication drugs. You need, or I wrote some of them down, or maternity type things, prescriptions. Yes. Then you might need to figure out the ACA plan. And they do have other like maternity plans that you can purchase ahead of time. Some of them you can even purchase once you find out. Oh, cool. The problem is once you find out, they go double or triple in price. That makes sense. So. But there are those plans. They're essentially just offshoots of a disability plan. And I write those as well. Not as commonly, but they are available. So, and I probably should talk about those more in Utah because that is such a... We're in Utah. We are in Utah. So if you need a pregnancy plan. There we go. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I know we're running a little bit short on time. So I want to thank you. This has been awesome. I mean, obviously a short conversation. Well, short. It's been 45 minutes, but... there's just so much to delve into. So we'll have to do this again. I actually want to do like a panel at some point and get like 2 or 3 people in a similar area. Like maybe get like a home restoration company and the insurance agent and I don't know, a garage door guy, a roofer, and just like kind of talk about claims or I don't know, whatever. Oh man. That'd be really interesting to do. It's like, hey, let's talk about a bunch of this and get some more like rounded, but it's invaluable. Your experience and knowledge is super helpful to me, to the clients I send your way. And I really appreciate that I'm able to trust people and send them your way, which is why I'm glad that we were able to talk about this. It's good. It's good for both of us. It's good for our clients too. So yeah, thank you so much. If people are listening to the episode and they're like, wow, Kristen's great, I need to talk to her, because this episode should go live before Christmas. Hopefully. Hopefully it should be or just after. So there'll still be a little bit of time, hopefully, when this goes. Maybe I'll bump this and do it a little bit earlier so people can see it. And they were like, I need to talk to Kristen. How can people get a hold of you? So my number, you can call, it's 801-691-9767. You can call or text that. And then I'll make sure to give you my website to put in the bio. I'll put that all in the comments. So in below, the first comment should be Kristen's contact information. Yes, I'm working on to get a hold of her. I'm working on socials again. I've been mostly just using Facebook. You can find me on Facebook really easily with just my name. But I'm working on some more socials. Cool. They're just not quite where I want them yet. So too busy writing clients and
Yeah.
making everything happen to post.
Yes, driving all over the state, calling everybody. I just signed some people up in Oregon yesterday. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a busy time.
Well, you told me this morning before you were here, you were meeting with an elderly couple in their home.
Yes.
So it's really cool that you're able to do that, or remotely, or we've done a lot of virtual stuff, just
Yep.
emails back and forth. So I like that you're flexible and appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Thanks. It was a good time.
Yeah. Party.